Okay, so for this question, the big idea is a common denominator. And also, we're going to discuss linkage again, where you link one skill that you're trying to learn to an old skill that you previously learned. So that way that you can learn everything in math is connected, and it's not so difficult because you already have a basis for it. So you can link something that you already know to something that you're about to do. Okay, so in this one, it's about a student that is struggling to add fractions with unlike denominators. Maybe this student understands how to add fractions with like denominators. Notice this denominator is 5, this one's also a 5. And so maybe they're good at this problem. 2/5 plus 1/5, 2 plus 1 is 3, is 3/5. And awesome. But maybe they struggle with this one, 3/8 plus 1/6, because the denominators are not the same. And we talked in the previous question about common misconceptions or common mistakes and about anticipating those so you know how to spot them and know how to correct them. So a common mistake that a student like this might do is this. A common mistake that they might make is this. They might get this one correct, and then on this one they might say, all right, well 3 plus 1 is 4, and 8 plus 6 is 14, so my answer is 4/14. But it is not 4/14. So let's think about the correct way to do this problem instead of the 3 plus 1, 8 plus 6 method, which does not give a correct answer. The correct way to do this problem is first to get a common denominator. So what we're going to do is change the 8 and the 6 both to the same denominator. If you know about common denominators, one that we could use, I'm gonna use the lowest common denominator, is gonna be 24. All right, but then if we change the denominators, we're gonna have to change the numerators. For example, I did 8 times 3 to change it to 24, so I need to do 3 times 3 to get the numerator to be 9. This way, 9/24 is equivalent to 3/8. It's the same exact number, but just written with a different denominator. And I did 6 times 4 to get 24 there, so I need to multiply the numerator by 4 as well to get 4 here. All right, so this way, 4/24 is the same exact number as 1/6. So I'm not changing the problem, I'm only changing the way the problem looks so that it has a common denominator, but it's an equivalent problem to the original problem. So now, 9/24 plus 4/24 is 13/24. And that's the correct answer. Again, this answer was incorrect. Now, the question is, what is the skill that we used that we could link this to, especially to get that common denominator? Because this student, again, might have been fine if the denominators are like denominators, but they were struggling when they were unlike denominators. How did we get that 24? Because that was the first step to put us on the path to get the right answer. So if we want to kind of expand that thinking, really the thinking was this. Well, 8's go like this. 8, 16, 24, and it keeps on going up forever and ever and ever. And 6's go like this. 6, 12, 18, 24, and it goes up forever and ever and ever. And so we use 24 as our common denominator because it was in both of these lists. Now, what skill is that called? When you think of these numbers for 8 and these numbers for 6, and you find the one that's the same, there's a skill that the students have already learned before they got to adding fractions. And that skill is the least common multiple, LCM. So least common multiple is what we used to find that common denominator. So you want to make sure that you link least common multiple to then adding and subtracting fractions because they're very related. And if the student is struggling with adding and subtracting fractions, maybe their skills for least common multiple aren't as solid as they need to be, and there needs to be some reteaching there. Or maybe they just didn't make the connection, so you've got to show them that there's a direct connection between least common multiple and then adding and subtracting fractions. There you go.